Straight ahead on 12 News, World Cup fever in Brooklyn Park.
I believe that we will win! I believe that we will win!
Plus, energizing students at Osseo area schools to help close an achievement gap. But first, from rising river levels,
it's unbelievable. Look at the current.
To changes at area golf courses, we have more impact from all the recent rain. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. The effect of all the recent rainfall is rearing its ugly head today in parts of the metro.
The Mississippi River is expected to crest today in St. Paul, reaching a height not seen since 2001. Upstream in Brooklyn Park, the parking lot at River Park is underwater. One gentleman who grew up on the river told us he hasn't seen it this high since 1965. Others we spoke with were taken aback by the strength of the current.
This is crazy. I was down here last weekend, and the water was actually up probably about 2 or 3 more parking spaces up here. But the current is just absolutely this scary current.
The Mississippi River crest was expected to reach 20.5 feet in St. Paul. That's the 6th highest mark on record. The rain has also wreaked havoc on area golf courses.
As Delane Cleveland reports, all the rain is forcing course managers to go with the flow.
It's a beautiful day.
In a season that's been defined by rain,
it's probably 75, 80 degrees and sunny.
Today was the perfect day to get out on the course to play a round of golf.
The course is in really green and can't complain that much.
Jay Luneski of Crystal was one of the many golfers soaking in the sun on this Golden Valley course, but talked to golf course staff members.
We're headed to the 9th fairway.
And they're concerned about a completely different kind of soaking.
A week ago, what is now fairway, I virtually would have been standing in 2 feet of water.
While conditions have improved slightly on the par 4 9th hole, standing water is still an issue. So they've had to temporarily turn it into a par 3 hole so the water doesn't get in the golfer's way.
It's been 25 years, 26 years since you've had something this wet.
In a good year, this golf course would see about 250 golfers a day, but thanks to Mother Nature and all of this water, that number has dwindled down to about 100.
Play is down. Mother Nature has reared her ugly head and giving us lots of rain.
Other parts of the course are still soggy thanks to high water levels in Bassett Creek. Yet even with less than ideal turf conditions,
can't complain that much.
The golfers play on and staff members stay optimistic.
We are not even halfway through, so we're looking forward to a good rest of the season and taking care of our patrons who have supported us through thick and thin.
In Golden Valley, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
And currently, Theodore Wirth Golf Course is not allowing golf carts onto the greens due to the soggy conditions. A storm sewer problem has caused the closure of a section of popular trail. The Luce Line Trail is closed for about a half mile west of Highway 55. A manhole collapsed, making that part of the trail unusable. It's unclear how long it will take to fix the problem. And over at Medicine Lake in Plymouth, no-wake restrictions will be lifted Friday at noon. The no-wake rule requires boaters to travel at speeds of 5 miles per hour or less. Water levels have receded on Medicine Lake, allowing the rule to be lifted. It was enforced for the past week to protect shoreline.
In other news, a Brooklyn Center man has been identified as the victim of a shooting in North Minneapolis. According to the county medical examiner's office, 19-year-old Jalen Davis died of a gunshot wound to the head. Davis was shot early Saturday morning. Police are following leads, but as we went to air, no arrests had been made. Closing the achievement gap is a top priority for many educators.
A new summer program offered in the Osseo School District aims to do just that. Here's 12 News reporter Carissa Wyant.
Kids seem to be having a blast at Brooklyn Junior High today.
We are getting excited and turned up for reading. So it's almost like a pep fest for the day of reading. And so they're getting excited, they're getting motivated.
They're part of the Freedom School program.
We sing and we listen, and there's like guests comes and they read us stories.
Which is not a typical summer school.
Freedom Schools is a model of how schools should be. We have multicultural enrichment, curriculum, we have community engagement.
The program helps children fall in love with reading.
Instilling that love of learning and making it fun in order for them to engage and connect to the curriculum.
It also aims to increase self-esteem and positive attitudes towards learning.
You guys should really come, it's really fun.
Third grade teacher Beth Peterson was a special guest.
Oh, I think it's going to empower them to be courageous, to be active in their community, to be good readers, to be, people of integrity.
Organizers say community involvement, small class sizes, and student interaction are keys to helping kids succeed.
In addition to getting kids excited about reading and helping them beat that summer lag, organizers say another big goal of this program is closing the achievement gap.
The program encourages kids to dream and set goals for themselves.
I want to be a basketball player.
In Brooklyn Park, Carissa Wyant, 12 News.
The program is free and open to any child, grade K through 6, and there's still time to sign up, and we have more information about that on our website, 12.tv. Talk about World Cup fever. We found an excited group on the field and all fired up about the USA versus Germany matchup.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
USA didn't end up winning, but they did have an engaged audience of youth soccer players watching in Brooklyn Park. 60 area kids are taking part in a week-long soccer camp with a World Cup theme. The kids took a brief break from their own play to watch a little World Cup soccer and get a little inspiration from the pros.
It's kind of cool because then you feel like you're part of the World Cup and you're doing the stuff that players are doing.
Well, basically they're watching and trying to emulate some of the things that they do on the field. Tricks and flicks and turns and moves and all that stuff. And that's what we're working on all week long to get these kids to actually, get to the next level in the game.
Even though USA lost to Germany, Team USA still advances after surviving the so-called group of death in the World Cup. Coming up, we are live in Brooklyn Center to preview Earle Brown Days.
Then later in sports, Osseo takes on Brooklyn Park in American Legion Baseball.
But first, here comes the rain again. Thunderstorms are in the forecast Friday into Sunday.
It is festival season, and this week we're celebrating Brooklyn Center.
Earle Brown Days kicks off tonight, Thursday evening, with a parade down DuPont Avenue. Reporter Shannon Slatton is live on the parade route to tell us what else is happening in the festival. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Alex and Mike. Earle Brown Days celebrates Brooklyn Center, and Earle Brown, one of the city's most famous residents, he founded the Minnesota State Highway Patrol. We are right here along DuPont Avenue where people are just starting to set out chairs and get ready for the parade tonight. Whether or not you get out on Thursday night for the parade, there's much more than that happening over the weekend. And let's go over that, starting with Friday. Now on Friday, there will be a golf tournament at Centerbrook Golf Course. That starts at 9 a.m. Then on Saturday, the fun really heats up. All activities take place in Centennial Park behind City Hall. Activities for the kids kick off. It's at 10 a.m. There's a fishing contest, crafts, petting zoo, and a planting activity. You can also see the Hennepin County Mounted Patrol and fire trucks. In the evening, there's a big band concert from 8:30 to 10 p.m. with fireworks going off at 10. There are a lot of things to see this weekend to celebrate Brooklyn Center, but today we went out and asked people in the city what they love about Brooklyn Center. And we found people in Brooklyn Center love what they can do year-round.
There's the parks and especially the walking trail right there in Palmer Lakes. It's just fantastic. We're having a blast.
I love hearing the birds and all the different birds singing in the air, in the trees and stuff, so it's just great. They have great walking trails here.
I've been coming here for about 12 years now since I have been rollerblading. I used to come with my friends and now I bring my two boys here.
The trails are smooth and I like to bike here.
The Earle Brown Heritage Center is a beautiful place and we're sitting next to a fountain, have the trees to look at, green grass, it's beautiful.
The parade will be going down an old route today, right down DuPont, right past Brooklyn Center High School. If you can't get out on Thursday night, you can catch it right here on Channel 12 over the weekend, as we'll replay it a few times as we and the community celebrate Brooklyn Center. Live in Brooklyn Center, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
And great night for a parade. Thanks a lot, Shannon.
That's right.
Well, coming up, using common kitchen ingredients to keep your garden healthy and growing.
But first in sports, Terry Tuma has some tips on catching bass. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. Well, summer baseball is here, and of course, I think you have some of the same rivalries that you see between schools in the school baseball season.
Right, and a lot of the same players too, and so that carries over in the summer period. Osseo and Park Center have had a lot of great baseball matchups in the high school season through the years, and also in summer ball. They met up in American Legion play in Osseo on Wednesday. 1-1 in the third inning when Osseo's John Ludwig hits a sharp grounder past third. Brett Meyer scores in the play, and Osseo goes up 2-1. Same inning, and Ben Christofferson bounces one up the middle. And that one brings Ludwig home. Christofferson's RBI single makes it 3-1 Osseo through 3 innings. In the fifth, Brooklyn Park's Kyle Schnobrick smashes it down the third baseline. Danny Savanich and Brandon Budnick score. The Knights tie at 3-3 on a double for Schnobrick. Bottom of the fifth inning, Osseo goes back in front. Joe Dare smacks a hit to right. It scores Haven Williams and Rudy Alexander. A key hit for Dare, and Osseo's in front 5-3. They tack on another, and Justin Clark's well-placed bouncer just getting through the infield. That makes it 6-3. And a nice double play in the sixth inning helps preserve the lead, and Osseo wins this one over Brooklyn Park 6-3. Well, this next game was a little like Game 7 of the 1991 World Series, with a strange ending, though. Hopkins meeting Eden Prairie in Legion play, and it's a pitcher's duel. Logan Ottman for Hopkins gets some defensive help. Third baseman Jeremy Burton stepping on the bag, firing in first, and getting the double play. Corey Binger just as good for Eden Prairie, and watch this web gem. Burton's sinking liner hauled in by diving Dan Lotes. Great catch, and it stays 0-0. Perfect timing for Eden Prairie here. Shortstop Josh Miller fields it, steps on the bag at second, gets the batter at first, and it's 0-0 through 6. Ottman continues to pitch well, getting the called third strike on Jack Clays in the eighth. Ottman works 8 scoreless innings. Burton makes another good play in the 10th behind reliever Robert Dworsky to get the out. This game is called in the 11th inning because of a curfew. It means the lights shut off. It ends in a 0-0 tie. Knowing what bait to use when out fishing for bass can make a big difference in how many fish you can land in the boat. Terry Tuma has more in this week's Channel 12 Fishing Tip.
Wacky worms are one of the most productive methods of catching large and smallmouth bass under tougher bite conditions. As of today, I really witnessed no results with spinnerbaits or crankbaits, but guess what? The wacky worm is extremely productive. But did you know with a wacky worm, obviously it's a slow fall, the center hook slow fall, but did you know too that once you cast out with the wacky worm, you can actually, and what I do with a wacky worm is something with a Texas rig, I'll sort of raise that rod tip up a little bit, then you got slack line, and now that line is going to allow that wacky worm to fall. But also when you're fishing a wacky worm, you know, I think we've been told for so many years that when you fish a wack, cast it out and let it flutter down, and then pick up the rod tip, drop it back down again, and hopefully you're going to entice a bass. But when you're fishing a wacky worm, also try some different type of retrieves. One is many times I'll sort of hop it back to the boat while I'm retrieving, so I'm raising the rod tip, dropping it down. It's sort of, a snap up, snap down, and that many times will draw attention to a real tough bite bass. And the other, many times too, I'll just take the rod and sort of shake it. So I'm shaking the wacky worm itself, and then drop it back down, shaking it again, drop it back down. So what we want to do, don't just get into this format of just lift, drop, working extremely slow. The other big factor with wacky worms is fish slow. Patience is a big factor. Give wacky worms a try under tougher bite conditions for bass, and you're going to have some great results. And be sure to tune in next week for another tip.
Thanks, Terry, and that's it for sports today.
All right, thanks, John.
Thank you, John. Well, you don't have to use expensive chemicals or products to get a green, lush garden.
Reporter Sonia Goins shows us how simple ingredients from your kitchen can help spruce up your garden.
There's 2 sheep, 3 goats, and a cow.
Item Homestead is bustling with animals.
Aren't those just absolutely wonderful?
There's also great gardens.
There's no way that people can say vegetables are ugly. I mean, this is gorgeous to me.
Muffy Connor's garden is magnificent, and her bean plants are bountiful.
And the beans themselves are going to be between 12 and 18 inches long and still tender.
And the lettuce lush.
It's been a little cooler than normal, which might be okay, especially for the lettuce.
It takes a lot of time and dedication to have a garden like this. Connor says she doesn't use any chemicals on her plants.
If you're going to use it in your kitchen and you're going to eat it, why not allow your plants to eat it? Then you can spray on the bottom of the leaves.
To get rid of fungus on tomato plants, she used this mixture.
It's a tablespoon of baking soda, a tablespoon of oil, and a tablespoon of dishwashing soap in a gallon of water.
Eggs are also excellent for your plants.
They have calcium and protein.
You can use the whole egg or just the egg shells.
The best is to have them broken up because then they decompose quicker.
These leaves on the bottom were totally getting eaten by something.
Connie Hergenrader is also big into organic gardening.
I thought better to try a home remedy first and see what would happen.
She used items from her kitchen when she had problems with her bean plants.
I mashed up a full head of garlic and an onion in a blender, and then I threw in a teaspoon of cayenne pepper and let it steep in a quart of water.
Both gardeners say their plants are healthier.
The beans look good, the cukes look good.
And they're getting more produce from their plants.
I've harvested already several quarts of broccoli off this. I harvested yesterday, and look at they're already up again today.
For In the Garden, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Coffee grounds are also good in the garden. The grounds add minerals, vitamins, and nitrogen to the soil so that vegetables are healthier and less prone to insects. And if you use the grounds at the base of your plant, it will help keep the moisture in. All kinds of good stuff from the kitchen to use,
Well,
right?
seems to work.
Yeah.
Huh?
Still ahead, a story that aims to please your hunger cravings.
We'll be right back. Well, finally, Minnesotans, start your appetites.
The new state fair foods have been announced, and of course, there's a Northwest Metro connection. The Robbinsdale Order of the Eastern Star Dining Hall has a new breakfast delicacy, peanut butter and jelly French toast. Of course, there are other new combinations, new foods, such as the bacon-wrapped turkey leg. Kind of surprised that hasn't been invented yet. And there's also deep-fried lobster on a stick. And here's some more proof that the craft beer industry has truly exploded in Minnesota. There is beer gelato. It's made fresh daily with craft beer, and you've probably already got it on your calendars, but the state fair starts in just 8 weeks.
Wow.
So here we go.
Yeah.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you tomorrow. Community Corner is coming up next.